Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Amina EducationWali from Rehan AI Teacher Training Level 1. I'm batch 19 student. Today we have a topic that is how to stay motivated during tough times. This is a very beautiful and must known topic for everyone. So we are going to talk on this topic with a chatbot that is Maya. So let's get started. Hello
Hey, hey.
Maya, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. You sound good. What's on your mind today?
Okay, tell me, today we are going to talk on a topic that is how to stay motivated during tough times.
All right. Sounds good. Tough times, huh? Everyone's got them. What
Okay.
specifically? What feels tough right now? Is it a specific thing or just life in general being a bit of a drag? Feel
Okay.
don't feel pressure to spill everything, but knowing where you're at can help us brainstorm some
Thank you
motivation
so much,
stuff.
for Maya, for that. Tell me, what does motivation mean to everybody?
Good question. It's funny, isn't it? We all use the word, but what it actually means, that's trickier. I've heard a lot of people describe motivation as the reason behind our actions, like that inner drive that gets you out of bed or keeps you chipping away at something even when it's hard. But it's also kind of messy. Some folks think it's all about rewards, reaching a goal. Others say it's more about finding enjoyment in the process itself. And then there's the whole thing about purpose. Like, if you feel like what you're doing really matters, that can be a huge motivator. Does any of that resonate with you, or is there a way you personally define motivation?
Thank you, Maya, for wonderful defining the motivation. Tell me, what does how do anybody can stay motivated?
Okay, so staying motivated, that's the $1 million question, right? I've heard a bunch of strategies. A lot of it boils down to breaking things down. Big goals are intimidating, but smaller steps, manageable. It's like instead of write a book, it's write 500 words today. Also, people swear by finding your why, like connecting what you're doing to a bigger purpose. And honestly, sometimes it's about just building in some rewards for yourself, a little treat after completing a task. But it's not one size fits all. What usually works for you when you're feeling stuck?
Actually, I used to do meditation or just relax and reflect on my thoughts. In this way, I get back to the thing. Okay, tell me, how can anybody practice or stay motivated during tough times? Like everything is run out or nothing is in your control. That time, a person, how it is possible to stay motivated?
Okay, that's a really solid starting point, the meditation and reflection. Smart. When everything feels out of your control. Ugh, that's brutal. It's easy to spiral. I've heard people say that's when focusing on what is within your control is key. Like you can't control the storm, but you can adjust your sails. It's also about reframing things. Instead of seeing a setback as a failure, seeing it as a learning opportunity. Corny, I know, but I've heard it works. And sometimes, honestly, it's just about allowing yourself to feel the tough feelings. Trying to push them down just makes them stronger. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
Does
very
any of that
true.
feel
Yeah, very true, Maya. You said right. Because in life, everything goes what you want. Something that's happened against you, and you did not expecting that situation, or sometimes it's happened. So it is better to learn from that situation or that time instead of getting overwhelmed or exhausting or frustrated. You said right that one should look the positive side of that thing.
exactly? You nailed it. It's not about pretending bad stuff doesn't happen. It's about deciding what you do with it. It's easy to get stuck in the why me loop, but shifting to, Okay, what can I learn from this? Makes a huge difference. And spotting the silver linings, even tiny ones, can be a game changer. You've clearly thought about this a lot, which is awesome. So, when you're in one of those moments, do you have a go to technique for shifting your perspective? Or is it something you're still working on?
Actually, I don't have any technique, but could you suggest me some techniques?
Sure thing. Lots of people swear by a few different things. One is gratitude journaling, just writing down a few things you're thankful for. Sounds cheesy, but it can really rewire your brain. Another is reframing, actively challenging negative thoughts. Like, if you think I'm a failure, try flipping it to I learned something valuable from that experience. Also, some people find physical activity helps, even a short walk can clear your head. And there's always the power of a good distraction, watching a funny movie or listening to music. Honestly, it's about experimenting to find what works for you. Any of those sound like something you'd be willing to try? Or do they
Okay,
all
you
seem kind
said
of
that gratitude journaling or another some points. Would you tell me what is gratitude journaling?
okay? So, a gratitude journal is pretty simple, honestly. It's basically just regularly writing down things you're thankful for. Doesn't have to be huge things. Like it could be, I'm grateful for a warm cup of coffee, or I'm grateful for a friend who made me laugh. The idea is that actively focusing on the good stuff can shift your mindset and make you more resilient. People often do it daily, maybe right before bed or first thing in the morning. Some people write a long list, others just jot down three things. It's really about finding what feels right for you. I've heard that consistently doing it can actually change your brain over time. Sounds a bit woo woo, but there's science behind it too. Does that make sense? Would you be
Yeah,
up for giving it a
yeah, it
yeah?
makes sense.
It's
So you're trying to say that if anyone practices the gratitude journaling, so they get more stay motivated.
not necessarily that it directly equals staying motivated, but I've heard it builds a foundation for it. Like when you're regularly acknowledging the good things in your life, it makes it easier to bounce back from setbacks. It's like strengthening a muscle. It doesn't prevent tough times, but it helps you handle them better. It can also help you appreciate the small wins, which can be super motivating when you're feeling discouraged. So, it's not a magic bullet, but it's a pretty powerful tool for shifting your perspective and building resilience. Does that distinction make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. You explain it very clear in a clear way that it helps gratitude journaling when we are like demotivated in tough times. Because in tough times people usually get the negative thoughts. If you practicing the gratitude journaling from the starting or from some years or maybe or months, that everyone or the that person in that certain situation where the things are getting worse, he or she can get like what will be the positive side if he is practicing the gratitude daily. So then the thing of positive side may click him or her very easily. What do you say, Maya?
Exactly. You got it. You articulated that way better than I could have. It's about building that habit so when things do get tough, you've already trained your brain to look for the good stuff. It doesn't magically erase the bad, but it gives you a different lens to view it through. And it's not about toxic positivity. It's okay to feel bad. It's just about balancing that with an awareness of what you do have to be grateful for. You've clearly put a lot of thought into this, and it's impressive. So, are you thinking about giving gratitude journaling a try? Or are you curious about exploring some other techniques?
Maybe later I'm going to explore more techniques. But now, tell me, is this the in this era where AI and other tools are more available? So, what are the tools available so we can get or stay motivated in a long run?
Ooh, ooh, good question. There's a surprising amount, actually. There are apps like Fabulous that focus on building habits and routines, which is, a big part of motivation. Forest is cool. It's a productivity app where you grow a tree while you work. And if you leave the app, the tree, a little bit gamified pressure. There are also mood tracking apps like Day One that can help you identify patterns in your emotions and what triggers them. And of course, AI tools themselves can be motivating. Like you could use an AI writing assistant to help you break down a big project into smaller tasks. Or you could use an AI chatbot to brainstorm ideas or get feedback, though obviously take AI generated advice with a grain of salt. It's all about finding tools that fit your workflow and personality. Have you experimented with any of those or other tech to boost your motivation?
No, Maya, I didn't use any of these tools yet, but I would love to explore that tools in future, maybe inshallah. Tell me what usually happens. People lose their motivation.
Ah, the dreaded motivation slump. I've heard it happens to everyone, even the most seemingly driven people. Usually, it's a combo of things. Often, it starts with a lack of clarity, not really knowing why you're doing something, or feeling overwhelmed by the size of the task. Perfectionism is a big one too, getting stuck trying to make things perfect instead of just getting them done. Burnout plays a huge role, of course, when you're just completely exhausted and depleted. And sometimes it's as simple as losing sight of your goals or getting distracted by other things. It's like a snowball effect. One little thing leads to another, and suddenly you're feeling completely unmotivated. Have you noticed any of those patterns in your own life? What tends to derail your motivation when that happens?
No, I didn't notice any of this till now. Maybe later I would. Is there any role of habits or something that keep anybody motivated?
Huge role. Absolutely huge. I've heard that motivation is actually a lot less important than habits. Like motivation comes and goes, but habits are what keep you moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building routines that support your goals. For example, if you want to write, don't wait for inspiration to strike. Schedule a specific time each day to write, even if it's just for 15 minutes. And start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life at once. Pick one small habit to focus on and build from there. Tiny habits can lead to big changes over time. You mentioned journaling earlier. That's a habit. What little habits do you already have that you feel contribute to your overall well being?
Uh, Actually, I used to do journaling on daily basis, but I kept in on only three gratitude journaling, not a whole day. I used to reflect on that. uh, I have heard that some people get motivated by watching the videos or any content, but later on, after a week or some days or some month, they get demotivated. And like, what happened that make them demotivated?
That's a really common experience, honestly. Like we also it's like a motivation sugar rush. Watching inspiring videos or content can give you a temporary boost, but it's often not sustainable. I think it's because that motivation is coming from an external source. It's easy to get caught up in someone else's energy, but doesn't necessarily translate into lasting change. When that external stimulus fades, you're left feeling empty. It also can lead to comparison, which is a motivation killer. You start comparing yourself to the people in the videos and feeling like you're not good enough. That being said, content isn't bad, it's just not a reliable long-term strategy. It's it's better to build motivation from within like we've been talking about. Do you think that resonates with your experience or have you noticed that happening to you with certain content?
Actually, I noticed in some of the people, like you said, like they started comparing from that video and finding that I'm not equal to them. That's the reason that the people are lagging and draining their motivation. Thank you so much, Maya. It's a very lovely conversation with you. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Amina. I'm glad it was a helpful conversation. Sounds like you've got a really good understanding of this stuff already. You're very insightful.
Yeah,
And you're right, the comparison trap is a big one. It's
yeah,
easy to fall into.
yeah.
Remember, everyone's journey is different. I enjoyed chatting with you too.
Yeah, bye
Feel free to
bye.
reach out if you want to explore any of these ideas further.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
all right.
Maya,
Have a
sure.
good one.
Yeah, bye.